Hi, lovely ladies and gentlemen. This is Tina Hull. So, I know adulting can suck. My daughter said that the other day, and she has moved out, so she's living the life. And I want you to know that emotionally you can heal. I know it doesn't feel like it like right now. I know. I was there. I can totally understand, and it never felt like the anger, the sadness, the grief of the relationship, the trying to understand why it happened when it happened and how it happened, and all of that took a while. So give yourself grace, have compassion with yourself, and trust and know and believe, because there's proof and evidence that other people have healed from emotional trauma, pain, narcissistic relationships, anxiety. Doesn't matter the what, it matters the how. So, how are you being? How are you thinking? How are you interacting with life, with yourself? So, if you're being critical, you're being judgmental, you're allowing the pain to harbor within you, and you're allowing it to literally eat you from the inside out, then it's going to take longer for you to heal. And also, you got to be careful, because what we internalize can literally change how our cells interact with each other. They end up coming out of harmony and imbalance, and then start become either precancerous, or they shift and change and not interact. The signals are different with each other. And because of that, it leads to a condition, illness, or disease, or mental unwellness, or anxiety, overwhelm, depression, all of it. It doesn't matter the what, honestly, it does not. So I'll give you this great example. There were two scientists, and I cannot remember the name of it when I looked it up a while ago. And they had taken a piece of DNA and they put it in a test tube of the test subject. And they had that person think a negative thought, pull up a negative memory, and then they took the DNA out and they put it under the microscope, and the DNA had altered. This is how powerful negative thoughts, negative feelings being held in the body, just pulled up as a memory, can actually be. So then they took the DNA, put it back in the test tube, and then had the person think a positive thought, pull up a positive memory. We do have them. Most people have had beautiful life experiences. You might be going through the dark time, and it will get better. I promise you. I promise you. If nothing else, please, please believe that. So they put the DNA, took the DNA out after the person sat there feeling happy emotions and pulling up this beautiful memory. Put it back under the microscope, and the DNA actually converted back. This is the power of the mind and your energy. It's a frequency that we are projecting out into the world. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, your stories that you're telling yourself and other people, how you see yourself, all have a frequency. And your job is to allow the emotions to come when they come in and leave. Process them. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to scream and yell into a pillow if you need to. go for a walk and shadow box. I used to do that all the time to release the emotions that are being held in your body because of what you're feeling at the moment. I used to walk up and down my hallways just to try to release some of the energy if I couldn't go outside or I didn't feel like it or whatever the situation was. So emotions are meant to be felt. They are meant to be part of the human experience, and they're meant to come to you and through you and released. And so many of us, from generations really, have been taught to suck it up, stiff upper lip, don't express. If you cry, I'll give you a reason to cry. That kind of mentality. And it was passed on from my parents, probably their parents, and probably even further back than that. And the truth is that we are supposed to, we as human beings, we are meant to feel. That's why it's part of our human experience. If we weren't meant to feel it, we wouldn't. But we're meant to process it, allow it to come to you. Last year, this past year, and the year before, 2024 and 2025, I probably cried more than I have my entire life. And sometimes it made sense, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes it was just a release that needed to be done to let off the valve so I didn't go into an anxiety state or depression or overwhelm. We've got to allow these feelings to come to us, and we've got to stay present. So if you're experiencing anxiety, overwhelm, then if you're not staying present, if you're not getting grounded, then you're probably doing one of two things or both. You're looking into the past and you're allowing the past to dictate to you your mood and your how you feel and what you think and all the stories, and or you're future projecting and you're catastrophizing. You're going into the negative downward spiral, the what if. So we can use that what if and go into the positive. So what if everything is okay? What if this is just an experience you have to go through just for now? What if this experience teaches you, helps you grow, helps you evolve, become a better version of you? And at the end of the day, you are stronger, you're more powerful, and you're an amazing human being. And it has forged you in the fire so you can rise as the phoenix out of the ashes. That's how I looked at things. That's the perspective. If everything is happening and it's happening to you, you're in that victim state, that negative what if downward spiral loop. But if you're looking at things from a perspective of everything's happening for you, now what? Now what? What do we do? If it's happening for you, now what? When my ex-husband, on my birthday weekend in 2019, said what he said, that allowed me to draw the line and said no more. In the end, it was a blessing. It didn't feel like it at the time, but it was. And since then, I have grown. I have more boundaries now. I am solid. I don't tolerate as much as I used to. I have raised my standards in life and in relationships and people and places and things. I am wiser. I am more emotionally intelligent. I am not triggered by these things because I've done a lot of healing. So, if this was an experience meant for you, now what? Have a blessed day.